There you go. Phenomenal. And right here, watch. Pass. Boom. Score with him. Another one. Boom. So it really depends. And this one, of course, bicycle kick. Boom. ShowTime Phenomenal Finisher. The final decision. Let me make this simple. A lot of people ask, is it worth going? If you're lucky to get him in 5, 10, 20 packs, good. In my opinion, it's worth it. The other two, no. Let me tell you why. Harry Kane, Haaland. Harry Kane is good if you like to experiment, use something different, having good wingers with it. Like if you go Salah, Messi, Neymar with Harry Kane, okay. But trust me, if you're in Division 1 and you want to consistently have the minimum of 70% win ratio, Harry Kane is not the guy. I get it if you're the type of player who like to use different players, etc. How often do you see anybody on top 50 dominating with the main striker being Haaland? Listen, with all due respect, many opponents I face, been playing eFootball since 22, never passed Div 3. These guys get so... they're unpredictable and they can get so lucky using Haaland, for example, right? Otherwise, Haaland, I mean, powerhouse, just shoot. And this is not a personal preference, like generally speaking. I personally don't like clunky big guys. However, I love Drogba. But for me, if he doesn't have speed, he needs to have high technique. If he doesn't have speed, he needs to be physically strong and so on. So with Osimhen, with that new phenomenal finishing card, can change your game. In my opinion, he does. I've decided to train him like this, something different. I was going to give him more dribbling, but I went for physicality. Because not only he's got aerial superiority, which makes him deadly in the air as well. As good as Haaland, man. And the only downside for me that he only plays CF. Sometimes I don't want goal poacher card to be active, especially when opponent plays deep. So this is how I decide to... usually I don't train players full meta. It's called Dream Team, right? A lot of times I don't just train players meta. If you're not a meta player, if you're not good with the 3 CF, just direct give and go, why even train players like that? As long as you know the difference between... as long as you know the player ability combined with the skill, which those of you guys on YouTube have explained it, then you would know how to train your players. So to make this simple, because tonight we're going to make a decision, man. I don't like keeping souvenirs. Like if I don't use Haaland, I'll release him. I don't care what card you use, and so on. But I always open packs for players that I don't even need, just for you guys to test it out, and you guys will see it in action. So that's for Osimhen. And even Osimhen, a standard card, dude. The thing is, with this new phenomenal finishing, I called it like 360 no scope. You get a lot of times players doesn't have acrobatic finishing, never mind phenomenal finishing. They can still hit a shot while taking a 90-degree off balance. But that's the thing, we've spoke about it before. So for Osimhen, it's worth it. If you're lucky to get him, it's worth it. For the other two guy, no. Harry Kane is pretty obvious, dude. Harry Kane with the ball in the box, around the box, his finishing is unbelievable. Honestly, one of the best finishers in the game. There's a reason why Konami chose these 3 guys for finishing. I mean, in real life, Osimhen is destroying for Napoli, for example. With Harry Kane, I'm not going to complain about his speed. Harry Kane is no fast. But deep lying forward does not work for quick counter, unless you got somebody like Maradona or Messi, etc. And the other downside, a striker with no speed, no acceleration, no balance, hardly even 80 dribbling or tight position. Basically, trying to get the ball with Harry Kane and make a turn or something, you lose the ball so easily. And I've tried them many times. Listen, against an opponent who know I can beat, Harry Kane destroys. If I face somebody on top 500 Division 1, then you will know he's going to be useless. Because these guys, you need players that you can quickly turn, quickly run into a space and so on. Like if he was a fox in the box or a goal poacher, at least the playing style would have been better in a way. So for me, Harry Kane, no. Haaland, personally, I'm not a fan of Haaland. But even generally speaking, as I said, I hardly see anybody even top 100 use Haaland. And if they use him, probably bring him on second half or so on. Because the problem with Haaland is the terrible balance, terrible ball control, terrible tight position. For a clunky big guy, yeah, he's good in the air. And this card is Fox in the box. With the update, they made him Fox in the box. If you have the previous one, is goal poacher. And I know most of you guys do well with Haaland, but be honest. Like, do you finish, if your main striker is always Haaland, have you made it to Div 1? And if you made it to Div 1, Haaland being your main striker, Do you consistently keep 70% plus win ratio in Div 1? Every phase? Haaland being your main striker? Like, be honest with yourself. If that's you, then you're something special. But personally speaking, yeah. And as I said, I tried a lot of players that doesn't fit me, completely out of comfort zone. Sorry. And Haaland is one of them. So tonight, between Haaland and Harry Kane, listen, I don't need to release any players, but a lot of times, the more players I have, the more I cannot help myself to try them more. And it will be no regret if I decide to release them, because if I want to keep 70% plus win ratio in Div 1, Harry Kane is not going to be the guy. Doesn't matter how many good players I use with him. It absolutely doesn't matter. He's not terrible, but he's really not the guy keeping that 70% plus win ratio. Because in a lot of situations, you need that striker to press. You need that striker to be a fox in the box or a goal poacher. You need that striker to be agile. I don't mind he not having speed, but low acceleration as well. Low balance as well. And physically not that strong. So that's my review about the first time ever ShowTime cards. And the free Neymar is pretty decent. Don't try to even make that Neymar fast. You be killing his dribbling and finishing. Just make him a good finisher and a passer. And of course a good dribbler. Anyway, tonight we have two plans. Out wide, 4-1-3-2. And I'm going to go back to my Sir Alex Ferguson's symmetrical 4-3-3 shaped like 4-4-2. That's one thing I want to do with Harry Kane. Obviously, he's got deep line forward card. Deep line forward is active as a SS and CF. If I use him as an AMF, deep line card is not active. And he's got 96 offense awareness. The messed up part, he does not play AMF. Like, he drops like what, 7-8 rating? So this is what I want to do tonight. I want to try him without his deep line forward card. And I want to see if that 96 offense awareness is going to be active. It should, though. Because deep line forward is not active as AMF. So offensive awareness doesn't matter if a player has deep line forward as a playing style. It does matter, Iwiza. But the playing style takes more effect. The playing style takes more effect. Kind of overwrites it. A perfect example would be, Wiza. There's a big difference between you using a fullback who's got defensive fullback playing style. That's how he's going to move when he's not under control in terms of AI. So a difference between a fullback who's a defensive playing style and an offensive playing style that you train him defensively. Like, I've got that Spanish right back, the legend, what's his name? He's an offensive fullback, but I gave him almost 90, almost the 85, 80, I think it's 88 defensive awareness, defensive engagement. He does not act like a defensive fullback. When I control him, though, yeah, ball winning, all that is good.